The knife was at his throat, not from an enemy, from himself. Ryu Sang-hyuk, Seoul's most feared crime lord, had stared down death 100 times. But tonight was different. Tonight he wanted it, welcomed it. 10 years of burning alive was enough. 3 weeks earlier, Sang-hyuk controlled half of Seoul's underground economy. Politicians took his calls. Judges ruled in his favor. Police looked the other way when his black Mercedes rolled through the streets. His penthouse occupied the top floor of the city's most exclusive building, all glass and steel and breathtaking views that cost more than most people earned in a lifetime. Inside, everything was expensive and cold. Black leather furniture imported from Italy. Modern art his decorator chose. A sound system worth more than a luxury car. He had money, power, fear, everything a man could want, except the one thing that made him feel human. 10 years ago, rivals poisoned him during a peace negotiation. They laced his whiskey with something doctors couldn't identify. He collapsed mid-sentence, went into a coma for 3 days. When he woke up in a private hospital room, they told him he was lucky to be alive. Brain scans showed no permanent damage. He walked out 2 weeks later thinking he'd won. Then the curse began, a burning deep inside that spread like wildfire through his veins. His body responded to everything. He got hard fast. Too fast, but it never finished, never released, no matter what he tried, no matter who helped. Beautiful women offered themselves. Actresses with faces on magazine covers, models who walked runways in Paris, socialites who collected powerful men like rare diamonds. Every attempt ended the same way, hours of desperate trying, his body working but never satisfying. The women leaving, exhausted, confused, whispering. Word spread through Seoul's elite circles, whispers at exclusive parties, rumors in private clubs. Some pitied him, others mocked him. The dragon who couldn't finish. He tried everything. Doctors in Tokyo called it psychological trauma. Specialists in Switzerland ran every test known to medicine. Everything came back normal. Shamans in mountain temples performed ancient rituals. Therapists in London suggested acceptance. He spent millions, flew around the world, consulted the best minds money could buy. They all said the same thing: rare neurological damage. No cure, no hope, learn to live with it. But living with it meant no sleep, no clear thoughts, just constant burning that slowly drove him insane. Tonight, after 5 brutal hours with 2 experienced women and 0 relief, he was done. The knife pressed against his throat. One quick motion, that's all it would take. End the suffering. Finally rest. The door burst open. Tae-min, his second-in-command, froze in the doorway. Hyungnim, get out. Your brother found someone, a nurse. Sang-hyuk didn't lower the blade. Another fraud? From Ethiopia. She treats cases other doctors. Abandon. Her grandmother told her she'd meet a man burning from the inside. Said only she could save him. The knife lowered an inch. Where is she? Downstairs, waiting. Sang-hyuk stared at his reflection in the dark window. Hollow eyes stared back, a ghost wearing his face. One last try. If this doesn't work, I'm done trying. If your heart already tightened reading this, good. You're about to enter the deepest chapter of Sang-hyuk's life. Before we continue, tap subscribe so you don't miss what happens when a dying mafia king meets the one woman he can't hurt and can't let go. And comment below, do you believe 2 strangers can be destined? 4 floors below, Laya Tesfaye sat in a sterile white room. The walls were too white, the air too cold. Medical equipment lined up with military precision. It looked like a hospital suite, but felt like a prison. She'd been waiting for over an hour, no explanations, no information, nothing. Just a phone call at midnight from a man claiming to be Mr. Ryu's assistant. His voice was urgent, desperate. He offered triple her normal rate to come immediately. No questions. Just come now. She almost refused. It sounded dangerous, suspicious. But her student loans were drowning her. Her temporary visa would expire in 3 months. Her savings account showed 2 zeros, and something in that man's voice told her this wasn't a scam. It was genuine desperation, the kind she recognized. She checked her watch. 2:47 a.m. Her grandmother's wooden talisman hung around her neck, hidden under her blue scrubs. Before she died, her grandmother gripped her hand and whispered, "You'll meet a man the world abandoned, a man burning alive. Only your hands can quiet him." Laya didn't believe in prophecies. She was a scientist, a nurse. Evidence was what she trusted. But sitting here alone, that memory felt heavier than usual. The door opened. A man in a perfectly tailored black suit entered. Broad shoulders, blank expression, the kind of man who made people nervous. "He's ready." She stood, grabbing her medical bag. "Can you tell me what I'm treating?" "You'll see." "At least tell me his name." Ryu Sang-hyuk. The name meant nothing to her. She'd only been in Seoul 6 months, still learning the language, still adjusting. She followed him down a long hallway. Her footsteps echoed on marble floors. Gold fixtures gleamed under soft lighting. Expensive paintings hung on walls. This wasn't a hospital. This was someone's home. Someone incredibly wealthy. He stopped at a door. "He's inside. Be careful." "Careful of what?" He didn't answer, just opened the door and stepped aside. She walked in. The room was dark except one lamp glowing in the corner. Heavy curtains blocked the city lights outside. The air felt thick with tension. Then she saw him, standing at the floor-to-ceiling window, shirtless, bandaged hands pressed flat against the glass. Something metallic glinted in his right hand. A knife. Her training kicked in immediately. "Sir, please put that down." He didn't turn. "You're the nurse?" "Yes, Laya Tesfaye." "Can you fix me?" "I don't know what's wrong yet." He laughed. It sounded broken, hollow. 10 years, every doctor in Asia, no one can fix me." "Let me try." He turned slowly. She stopped breathing. Not because he was handsome, though he was. Sharp jaw, dark, intense eyes, powerful frame, but because he looked like a man who'd already died inside. His eyes were empty, dead. Like he'd given up on everything, including himself. "What's wrong?" she asked gently. "Everything." Then something impossible happened. The knife slipped from his hand, clattered onto hardwood. His eyes went wide, shocked, confused. "The burning," he whispered. "It stopped." "What burning?" "The pain, the curse I've lived with for 10 years. It's gone." He stared at her like she was something he couldn't comprehend, something impossible. "What did you just do?" "Nothing. I only walked in." "Don't move." He took one careful step toward her. "Please don't leave. Mr. Ryu, I need to understand. 5 minutes. Just stay 5 minutes." His voice cracked, raw, desperate, vulnerable. She should leave, run. This was dangerous. Nothing made sense. But she saw something in his eyes she recognized. Real suffering. The kind that breaks people completely from the inside out. "Okay," she whispered. 5 minutes. He closed his eyes, exhaled like he'd been holding his breath underwater for 10 years. "Thank you." She set her bag down carefully, stepped toward the man who would change her life forever. His hands stopped shaking. For the first time in 10 years, Sang-hyuk's hands were steady. No tremors, no tension, just normal. He stared at them like they belonged to someone else. "Mr. Ryu, can you hear me?" He looked up. She was closer now, pulling equipment from her bag. Her movements were efficient, professional, like she'd done this 1,000 times. "My name is Sang-hyuk." "I know. Your assistant told me." "Then use it." She paused, looked at him directly. "That wouldn't be appropriate." "Why not?" "Because you're my patient." "I haven't agreed to that yet." Her eyebrow lifted. "Then what am I doing here?" "Witnessing a miracle." She almost smiled. Almost. "I don't believe in miracles." "Neither did I, until 3 minutes ago." She pulled out a blood pressure cuff. "Give me your arm." He extended it. She wrapped the cuff around his bicep. Her fingers brushed his skin. Cool, steady, gentle. The burning that lived in his chest dimmed even more. "What are you doing to me?" he whispered. "Taking your blood pressure." "That's not what I mean." She pumped the cuff, watched the numbers. Her eyes widened slightly. 190 over 115. "Is that bad?" "That's stroke level. You should be in a hospital." "I've been to every hospital in Asia." She released the cuff, pulled out her stethoscope. "Lean forward." He did. She pressed the cold metal to his chest. He heard her counting under her breath, felt her presence like a weight, but not heavy. Safe. She pulled back. "Your heart rate was 140 when I walked in. It's 95 now." "What does that mean?" "It means something about me calms your nervous system." She sat back, studied him like he was an equation. "But that's medically impossible." "You keep saying that word." "Because it's true." "Then explain what just happened." She couldn't. He saw it in her face, the confusion, the frustration. She was someone who needed answers, logic, proof. "I need time to research this," she said. "How much time?" "A few days, maybe a week." "No." Her eyes narrowed. "Excuse me? You leave, the pain comes back. I know it does." "How?" "Because you were here 3 days ago. My brother brought you for 10 minutes. The second you walked out, it came back worse than before." Recognition flashed across her face. "That was you on the floor." "Yes. There was so much blood." "I've been trying to end it." She went still. "And what?" "The pain. My life. Both." Silence stretched between them, heavy, raw. "Mr. Ryu Sang-hyuk." "Sang-hyuk." She said it carefully, like she was testing the weight of his name. "I can't stay here indefinitely. I have a job, a visa that expires in 3 months, bills to pay. I'll pay you, triple what you make." "This isn't about money." "Then what?" "I need to understand what's happening. I'm a nurse. I believe in science, evidence. This," she gestured between them, "makes no sense." "I don't care if it makes sense. I care that it works." She stood, started packing her equipment. "I'll come back tomorrow, same time. We'll run more tests, document everything." "And if you don't come back?" She looked at him, really looked at him, saw the desperation he was trying to hide. "I'll come back. Promise me." "I don't make promises I can't keep." "Then tell me you'll try." She picked up her bag, walked to the door, stopped, her hand on the handle. "I'll try." The door closed. Sang-hyuk sat alone in the sudden quiet. For 30 seconds, he felt fine. Then the burning started again. Small at first, then building, growing, consuming. By the time Taimin found him an hour later, he was back on the floor, hands bleeding, mind fracturing. "Call her back," Taimin said. "She's gone." "Then we wait." "I can't wait." But he had no choice. Blood under her fingernails. Laya scrubbed her hands in the hospital bathroom. The patient from room 307 had died 20 minutes ago. She'd done everything right. Chest compressions, defibrillator, emergency medications. Still wasn't enough. It never was. She stared at her reflection. Exhausted eyes, wrinkled scrubs, hair coming loose from her bun. 24 hours ago, she'd been in a penthouse with a crime lord who claimed she could stop his pain just by existing. Now she was back to reality, back to losing patience and counting paychecks. The door opened. Hae-jin walked in. Perfect makeup, perfect hair, perfect everything. "Rough shift?" Hae-jin asked. Her tone said she didn't actually care. "Lost a patient. It happens." Hae-jin checked her lipstick in the mirror. "I heard you had an interesting night. Private consultation." Laya's stomach tightened. "How did you know about that?" "Seoul's smaller than you think, especially for people in our world." Hae-jin turned to face her. "Ryu Sang-hyuk. That's who you saw, wasn't it?" "I can't discuss patients." "Of course not. Professional ethics." Hae-jin smiled. It didn't reach her eyes. "Just be careful. Men like that are dangerous." "You don't know anything about it." "I know he's been through every nurse in this hospital. They all leave crying or angry or both. You're not special, Laya. You're just next." Laya dried her hands. Thanks for the concern. It's not concern, it's a warning. Hae-jin left. Laya stood there, hands shaking again, not from the patient she'd lost, from the conversation, from the weight of everything pressing down. Her phone buzzed. Unknown number. The pain came back. Please. S. She stared at the message, should ignore it, should go home, should pretend last night was a weird dream, but she remembered his face, the relief, the hope. She typed back. I'll come tomorrow, 8 p.m. L. The response was immediate. Thank you. She put her phone away, walked back to the nurse's station. Min-suk was waiting, the older nurse with kind eyes. You okay? Fine. Liar. Min-suk handed her a cup of coffee. I saw you with Hae-jin. What did she say? Nothing important. Everything Hae-jin says is calculated. She doesn't make small talk. Min-suk lowered her voice. Is it true? Are you treating Ryu Sang-hyuk? I can't. You don't have to confirm it. I can see it on your face. Min-suk glanced around, made sure no one was listening. That man is connected to half the powerful people in Seoul, politicians, businessmen, judges. If you help him, you'll have protection, but you'll also have enemies. I'm just a nurse. Not anymore. Min-suk squeezed her shoulder. Be smart, be careful, and don't trust anyone in this hospital, especially Hae-jin. Why are you helping me? Because someone helped me once, when I was new and scared and out of my depth. Min-suk smiled sadly. Consider it paying it forward. She walked away. Laya finished her shift in a daze, went home to her tiny apartment, stared at the ceiling. Her grandmother's face floated in her memory, the last words she ever spoke. When you meet him, don't run. He needs you more than you know. I'm not running, Grandma, Laya whispered to the empty room, but I don't know what I'm doing either. Her phone buzzed again. Different number. Professional tone. Dr. Kang would like to speak with you regarding your visa status. Please call at your earliest convenience. Her blood went cold. Her visa was fine. She'd checked it last week. Why would a doctor need to discuss it? Unless someone was digging. Unless someone wanted her gone. She looked at the message again, then at Sang-hyuk's earlier text. Two different worlds pulling her in opposite directions. She had to choose. Hae-jin's phone rang at midnight. She answered immediately. Well? Dr. Kang's voice was smug. Found something interesting. Tell me. 6 months ago, Leah Tesfaye worked at Royal London Hospital, trauma unit. Then she quit suddenly. No notice, no explanation. Why? A patient died under her care. 52-year-old man. Heart attack. She administered medication, but he didn't make it. That's not unusual. No. But 2 nurses filed statements saying she hesitated before giving the medication. Long enough that they noticed. Long enough that they questioned it. Hae-jin sat up straighter. Was she charged? No, internal investigation cleared her, but the hospital encouraged her to resign. She left the country a week later. Can you prove this? I have copies of the investigation reports, witness statements, medical records. Are they real? Real enough. Hae-jin smiled in the darkness. Send them to me. What are you going to do? Show Ryu Sang-hyuk what kind of nurse he's trusting with his life. That's risky. If he finds out you're behind this, he won't. I'll make it look like concerned colleagues bringing information to light. Anonymous tips. Professional duty. And if it backfires? It won't. Men like Ryu don't tolerate incompetence. The second he thinks she might be dangerous, he'll cut her loose. You really hate her that much? This isn't about hate. It's about what I deserve. Hae-jin's voice hardened. I've worked 6 years at this hospital, sacrificed everything. I'm not letting some foreign nurse with a suspicious past take what should be mine. The files will be in your email in 10 minutes. Good. And Kang? Yes. This makes us even. No more favors. Agreed. He hung up. Hae-jin opened her laptop. Waited. The email arrived exactly 10 minutes later. She opened the attachments, read every word, medical reports, witness statements, timeline of events. It was perfect, circumstantial enough to raise doubts, specific enough to seem credible. She forwarded everything to an encrypted email account she'd created, then drafted a message. To Ryu Sang-hyuk. From a concerned medical professional. Subject: information regarding your current healthcare provider. Mr. Ryu, I'm writing to inform you of concerning information about Nurse Leah Tesfaye. Attached are documents from her previous employment at Royal London Hospital. A patient died under her care under questionable circumstances. 2 nurses reported she hesitated before administering critical medication. While she was not formally charged, the hospital asked her to resign. I believe you should be aware of this before continuing treatment. This message is sent out of professional concern for your safety. She read it 3 times, removed anything that could trace back to her, made it sound clinical, concerned, professional. Then she hit send. The message disappeared into the void. She closed her laptop, poured herself wine, walked to her apartment window. Seoul glittered below her. 30 million people, all of them fighting for something. Power, money, love, respect. She wanted all of it, and she'd burn down anyone who stood in her way. Her phone buzzed. Message delivered. She smiled, raised her glass to her reflection. Welcome to Seoul, Leah. Let's see how long you last. The email arrived at 2 a.m. Sang-hyuk couldn't sleep. The pain had returned with a vengeance. His body burned, his mind fractured. He was lying on his bedroom floor when his phone lit up. New message. He almost ignored it. Then he saw the subject line. Information regarding your current healthcare provider. He opened it, read once, then again, then a 3rd time. A patient died under her care. She hesitated. An investigation. Forced resignation. His chest tightened, not from pain this time, from something worse. Doubt. He forwarded the email to Tae-min with 1 word: verify. The response came 30 minutes later. It's real. Hospital records confirm she worked there, left suddenly, patient died, investigation happened, no charges filed but circumstances unclear. Sang-hyuk stared at his phone. Everything in him wanted to dismiss it, to trust her, to believe there was an explanation. But he'd built his empire on information, on verification, on never trusting anyone completely. And now he had information that said the woman he'd trusted with his life might have killed someone through negligence. His phone rang. Tae-min. Young-nim, what do you want me to do? Nothing yet. Should I pull her background check? Already done. And? Clean, no criminal record, no malpractice suits, good references. Then maybe this email is, I don't know what it is, but I need to find out. Sang-hyuk sat up. Pain shot through him. Bring her here tomorrow, as planned, but have someone watching, recording everything. You think she's dangerous? I think someone wants me to think she's dangerous, and I need to know why. He hung up, lay back down. The burning was worse now, spreading, consuming, but he couldn't call her. Not until he knew the truth. Not until he understood what game was being played. Because in his world, trust was currency, and betrayal was death. If she was lying to him, hiding something that could hurt him, he needed to know. Even if it meant suffering. Even if it meant losing the only relief he'd found in 10 years. His phone buzzed again, a text from her. I'll be there at 8 p.m. tomorrow. Try to rest. L. He stared at the message. Such simple words. From someone who either saved his life or was playing him. He didn't respond, just closed his eyes and waited for morning. When morning came, he'd have answers. And if those answers proved she'd lied, he'd do what he always did with people who betrayed him. Cut them out. Completely. No matter how much it cost him. Even if the cost was his sanity. Because in his world, survival meant never letting anyone get close enough to destroy you. And right now, Leah Tesfaye was closer than anyone had been in years, which made her either his salvation or his greatest threat. She was 20 minutes early. Leah stood outside his building at 7:40 p.m. The security guard recognized her, nodded, opened the door without questions. The elevator ride felt longer this time. When the doors opened, Tae-min was waiting. His expression was different, colder. "He's in the study," Tae-min said. "Not the bedroom, not the living room, the study." Something was wrong. She followed him down the hallway. Her medical bag felt heavier. The air felt thicker. Tae-min opened the door, stepped aside. Sang-hyuk sat behind a massive desk, expensive whiskey untouched in front of him. His face was unreadable, carved from stone. "Sit down," he said, not a greeting, a command. She sat. "What's wrong?" He slid a folder across the desk. She opened it. Her stomach dropped. Royal London Hospital, internal investigation report, witness statements, the patient who died, everything she'd tried to leave behind. "Where did you get this?" Her voice came out steady. "Barely." "Does it matter?" "Yes. Someone sent it, anonymously, said I should know who I'm trusting with my life." She closed the folder, met his eyes. "You want an explanation?" "I want the truth." The truth is, a 52-year-old man had a massive heart attack. I was his nurse. I administered medication exactly as prescribed. He coded anyway. We tried to save him for 40 minutes. He died. The report says you hesitated. I double-checked the dosage. That's not hesitation. That's being careful. 2 nurses said it was long enough to notice. 2 nurses who wanted my position, who resented that I was promoted over them. Her hands clenched in her lap. The investigation cleared me. Completely. No wrongdoing. No negligence. Nothing. "Then why did you leave?" Silence. "Laya, why did you leave?" She looked away. "Because even though I was cleared, people still whispered, still looked at me like I'd killed him. The hospital director suggested I resign, said it would be better for everyone. So I did. And came here. And came here." He leaned back, studied her. "Do you know what I do for a living?" "I know enough." "Then you know I can't afford to trust the wrong people. In my world, one mistake costs lives, including mine." "I understand. Do you?" He stood, walked around the desk, stopped in front of her. "Because right now, I have information that says you might have killed someone, and I have to decide if I believe you or believe the evidence. What does your gut tell you?" "My gut tells me you're telling the truth, but my gut has been wrong before." She stood, faced him. "Then test me." "How?" "However you need to. Background check, polygraph, interview my references, do whatever makes you feel safe, but don't punish me for something I didn't do based on an anonymous email from someone who clearly wants me gone." He stared at her. "Who would want you gone?" "I don't know, but someone does." "Why?" "Maybe because I'm helping you. Maybe because someone else wants that position. Maybe because I'm foreign and easy to target. I don't know." His jaw tightened. "If I find out you lied to me, you won't, because I didn't." They stood there, inches apart, the tension thick enough to cut. Finally, he stepped back. "I'm having your background fully investigated, everything. If there's anything else I should know, tell me now." "There's nothing." "You're sure?" "I'm sure." He walked back to his desk, sat down. The dismissal was clear. She picked up her bag. "Do you still want me to—" "Not tonight." The words hit like a slap. "Okay." She walked to the door, stopped. "For what it's worth, I'm sorry someone is trying to sabotage this, because you were finally getting better." "Laya." She turned. "If you're lying, I'll know, and it won't end well." "I'm not lying." She left. The door closed. Sang-hyuk sat alone in the quiet. His body was already screaming, the pain returning, building, burning. But he couldn't call her back. Not until he knew for certain. Not until he had proof. Even if waiting killed him. Taemin delivered the report at 3 a.m. Sang-hyuk was on the floor again. 3 days without her. 3 days of hell. His hands were bleeding. His vision kept blurring. He thought he might be dying. Hyungnim. Taemin dropped the folder on the table. "The investigation is complete." Sang-hyuk crawled to the table, pulled himself up. His entire body shook. He opened the folder. The first page was a summary. Clean record. No criminal history, references all glowing. The hospital incident was exactly what she said. 2 jealous nurses, a cleared investigation, a suggested resignation to avoid drama. Nothing suspicious, nothing dangerous. She'd told him the truth. He kept reading. Every page confirmed it. Her visa was legitimate. Her credentials real. Her work history spotless. The anonymous email was a lie, or a manipulation. Someone wanted him to doubt her. "There's more," Taemin said. Sang-hyuk looked up. "I traced the email. It came from a VPN, but the IP address before that belonged to Seoul General Hospital, internal network." "Who?" "Still working on it, but someone at that hospital sent it." Sang-hyuk closed the folder, dropped his head. "I accused her of killing someone. I made her prove herself, and she was innocent. You had to be sure. I broke her trust. Then fix it." Sang-hyuk grabbed his phone, dialed her number with shaking fingers. She answered on the 5th ring. "What?" Her voice was cold, distant. "The investigation finished. You were right about everything. I'm sorry." Silence. "Laya, please. I need you. The pain is—" "I'll be there in 20 minutes." She hung up. He collapsed against the wall, waited. When she arrived, she didn't greet him, just walked past him, set her bag down, pulled out equipment. "Sit." He sat. She wrapped the blood pressure cuff around his arm, pumped it hard, watched the numbers. 210 over 125. You're going to die if you keep this up. "I know." She pulled out her stethoscope, pressed it to his chest. Her touch was clinical, cold, but his heart rate started dropping anyway. 165 down to 98 in 30 seconds. She pulled back, started writing notes. "Laya, I'm sorry." "You already said that. I mean it." "Do you?" She finally looked at him. Her eyes were red, tired, angry. "Because from where I'm standing, you threw me away the second someone told you to." "I had to verify." "No, you had to trust me. That's what people do when they care about someone. They trust them first, investigate later if needed." "In my world?" "I don't care about your world." Her voice cracked. "I care that I told you the truth and you still chose to believe an anonymous stranger over me." "You're right. I know I'm right." "What can I do?" She packed her equipment. "Nothing. I'll keep coming because you'll die if I don't. But we're not friends. We're not anything. I'm your nurse. That's it. Laya, I'll be back tomorrow, same time." She walked to the door. "Wait." She stopped, didn't turn around. "I found out who sent the email. Someone at Seoul General. I'm going to find out exactly who." Now she turned. "And then what?" "Then I'll make sure they never work in Seoul again." "Don't." "Why not?" "Because I don't want you fighting my battles. I want you to trust me enough that you don't need an investigation to prove I'm telling the truth." She left. The door closed. Sang-hyuk sat alone. His body was calm now, the pain manageable. But something else hurt worse, the look in her eyes when she said they were nothing. He'd spent 10 years burning alive. But this pain was different. This pain came from knowing he'd destroyed something rare, something he might never get back. Hae-jin watched from the hospital cafeteria window. Laya walked to her car, shoulders slumped, face tired. The plan had failed. The email, the investigation, the doubt. None of it worked. Somehow, Leah was still standing, still working, still seeing Sang-hyuk. Hae-jin's jaw clenched. She pulled out her phone, scrolled through contacts, stopped on a name she'd saved 2 years ago. Immigration Officer Park. She'd helped him once, covered up a mistake in his paperwork, saved his job. He owed her. She pressed call. "Park speaking." "It's Han Hae-jin from Seoul General." "Hae-jin, it's been a while. I need a favor." "What kind?" "There's a foreign nurse at our hospital. Ethiopian, work visa. I think she's violating her employment terms." "What makes you think that?" "She's taking private cases, getting paid under the table, outside her visa restrictions." Silence. "That's serious." "I know, but it's happening. I have proof." "Send me her information. Name, passport number, visa details. I'll open an investigation. How long? If the violation is clear, I can revoke her visa in 2 weeks. She'd have 7 days to leave Korea after that. Hae-jin smiled. Perfect. But Hae-jin, false reports have consequences. Are you certain? I'm certain. Then send everything. She hung up, opened Laya's employee file on her hospital access, passport scan, visa documentation, employment contract. She forwarded it all, then deleted the messages, cleared her browser history, covered every track. 2 weeks. In 2 weeks, Leah Tesfaye would be gone, deported, banned from returning, and Ryu Sang-hyuk would be desperate, broken, needing someone. Hae-jin looked at her reflection in the dark window. Perfect makeup, perfect hair, perfect everything. She'd waited 3 years for this, worked 6 years to build her reputation. She wasn't going to lose to some foreign nobody. Her phone buzzed. Officer Park. Investigation opened. Will contact subject within 10 business days. Thanks for the report. Hae-jin typed back. Thank you. Just doing my civic duty. She deleted that message too, stood up, smoothed her uniform, walked back to work with a smile. Tick-tock, Leah. Your time is running out. 2 weeks passed. 2 weeks of Laya coming every evening, checking vitals, taking notes, leaving within an hour. No conversations, no warmth, just medical care. Sang-hyuk was losing his mind. Not from pain. His body was better than it had been in years. The episodes were rare now, the burning manageable as long as she visited, but the distance between them was worse than any physical suffering. On the 14th night, he couldn't take it anymore. Stay for dinner. She was packing her bag. Didn't look up. No, please, that's not appropriate. It's just food. Nothing with you is just anything. She zipped her bag. I'll see you tomorrow. Leah, wait. She stopped at the door. What? I know I don't deserve your forgiveness. I know I broke your trust, but I'm asking you to give me a chance to earn it back. Why should I? Because I'm miserable without you. Not just physically, completely. She turned around slowly. That's not my problem. I know, but it's the truth. He stood, walked closer. I've spent 3 years building walls, trusting no one, keeping everyone at a distance. Then you walked in and those walls came down. It terrified me. So you pushed me away. Yes, that's not an excuse. I'm not making excuses, I'm explaining. He stopped a few feet from her. I was wrong, completely wrong, and I'm sorry. Not just for doubting you, but for making you feel like you had to prove yourself. She stared at him. What do you want from me, Sang-hyuk? Another chance. To do what? To show you I can be better. To prove I trust you. To build something real. This can't be real. You're a crime lord. I'm a nurse. Our worlds don't mix. They already mixed the second you walked into my penthouse. That doesn't mean they should stay mixed. Maybe not. But I'm asking you to try anyway. She shook her head. This is insane. I know. You could get me killed. I won't let that happen. You can't promise that. I can promise I'll die trying. They stood there. The space between them heavy with everything unsaid. One dinner, she said finally. What? I'll stay for one dinner. We'll talk. Like normal people. Not nurse and patient. Not whatever this complicated thing is. Just 2 people eating food. Okay. But if this goes badly, it won't. If it does, I'm done, completely. I'll find you another nurse and I'll walk away. Understood. She set her bag down. What are we eating? He smiled for the first time in 2 weeks. What do you like? Surprise me. He walked to the kitchen. She followed. And for the first time since the investigation, the walls between them started to crack. Not breaking, not yet, but cracking. And that was enough. The letter arrived on a Tuesday. Official government seal. Immigration Services. Republic of Korea. Laya opened it in the hospital break room. Her hands started shaking before she finished the first paragraph. Notice of Visa Violation Investigation. Dear Ms. Tesfaye, It has come to our attention that you may be in violation of your work visa terms. Specifically, you are suspected of accepting private employment outside your designated employer, Seoul General Hospital, without proper authorization. An investigation has been opened. You are required to appear at the immigration office within 5 business days with documentation of all employment and income for the past 6 months. Failure to comply may result in immediate visa revocation and deportation. The letter fell from her hands. No. This couldn't be happening. She picked it up again, read it 3 more times. Someone reported her. Someone knew about Sang-hyuk. Someone wanted her gone. Her phone rang. Sang-hyuk. She answered. We have a problem. What kind of problem? Immigration is investigating me. They think I'm working illegally. They're threatening deportation. Silence. Someone reported you? Yes. Who? I don't know. But they know about you. About the private consultations. More silence. Then his voice turned cold. Dangerous. Where are you? Hospital. Stay there. I'm sending Tae-min. Don't talk to anyone until I figure this out. Sang-hyuk, this is serious. If they revoke my visa, they won't. You can't stop this. This is the government. I've stopped worse. Just trust me. I can't trust you to fix this. This is my career, my life. And I'm telling you I'll handle it. How? However I need to. She closed her eyes. I should never have taken this job. Laya, no, this is exactly what I was afraid of. Getting pulled into your world, losing everything because of it. You're not going to lose anything. You don't know that. I do, because I won't let it happen. Give me 3 days. 3 days won't... 3 days. That's all I'm asking. She wanted to argue, wanted to tell him this was impossible, but she heard something in his voice. Certainty, steel, power. The voice of a man who didn't lose. Fine, 3 days. Thank you. She hung up, sat alone in the break room. The letter stared up at her from the table. 5 business days to appear. 3 days for Sang-hyuk to fix it. 2 days margin for error. She picked up the letter, folded it, put it in her bag, walked back to her shift on autopilot. Across the hospital in the administrative wing, Hae-jin watched through the window, saw Laya's face, pale, scared, broken, perfect. Hae-jin smiled, pulled out her phone, texted Officer Park. Has the subject been notified? The response came immediately. Yes, notice delivered this morning. Thank you. Happy to help. Let me know if you need anything else. Hae-jin deleted the conversation, turned away from the window, whispered to herself, 3 more days, Leah. Then you're gone. Sang-hyuk made 3 phone calls. The first was to Judge Kim, a man he'd helped get elected, a man who owed him everything. I need a favor. What kind? Immigration case, foreign national, nurse. Someone filed a false report. I need it buried. Sang-hyuk, I can't interfere with immigration. You can, and you will. Unless you want your campaign finance records to suddenly become very interesting to prosecutors. Silence. Send me the details. Her name is Leah Tesfaye, Ethiopian national. Work visa through Seoul General. Investigation opened 3 days ago. Case number should be in the system. I'll look into it. Don't look. Fix it. That's not how this works. Then make it work. You have 48 hours. He hung up. Second call. Director Choi, Seoul General Hospital Administrator. Another man in his pocket. Ryusi, this is unexpected. Who has access to employee visa documentation at your hospital? That would be HR and senior nursing staff. Why? Someone leaked information about one of your nurses to immigration. I need to know who. That's a serious accusation. And I'm a serious person. Check your access logs. Find out who pulled Laya Tesfaye's file in the last month. Report back in 6 hours. I'll need authorization. You'll need a new job if you don't do this. 6 hours. He hung up. Third call. Officer Park. Immigration. Services. This one was trickier. He didn't own Park, but he knew someone who did. He dialed Park's supervisor. Section Chief Han. Chief Han, it's Ryu Sang-hyuk. Mr. Ryu, how can I help? One of your officers opened an investigation based on false information. I need it closed. Which officer? Park. Case involves an Ethiopian nurse, Laya Tesfaye. I'll look into it. Don't just look. I need the case closed, the report expunged, and I need to know who filed it. That's asking a lot. I donated 500 million won to your department's modernization fund last year. I'm not asking, I'm collecting. Pause. Give me 24 hours. You have 12. He hung up. Taemin stood in the doorway. Will it work? It has to. And if it doesn't, then I'll do it another way. What other way? Sang-hyuk looked at him. The way that doesn't involve phone calls. Taemin understood. That would create problems. I don't care. She's not getting deported because someone wants to play games. His phone rang. Director Choi. That was fast. Talk. I found something. The access logs show Laya's file was pulled twice last month. Once by HR for routine review. Once by Han Hae-jin, head nurse. No authorization. No reason listed. Sang-hyuk's blood went cold. Hae-jin. Yes. She accessed the file at 11 p.m., outside work hours, used her admin credentials. Send me everything, screenshots, timestamps, everything. Already sent. Good. He hung up, looked at Taemin. Find Han Hae-jin, bring her to the warehouse, tonight. Young Nim, she works at a hospital. People will notice if she disappears. I don't care, bring her. What are you going to do? Have a conversation. Taemin's expression didn't change, but they both knew what that meant. In Sang-hyuk's world, conversations in warehouses didn't end well. Understood. Taemin left. Sang-hyuk sat alone in his office, stared at Hae-jin's employee photo on his screen. Pretty, professional, perfect smile. The smile of someone who thought she was smarter than everyone else. She was about to learn different. He picked up his phone. Texted Laya. Don't worry, I found who did it. Handle it by tomorrow. She responded immediately. How? Better you don't know. Sang-hyuk, don't do anything illegal. He stared at the message, then typed back. Too late for that, but trust me. This ends tomorrow. He put the phone down, leaned back in his chair. Tomorrow, Hae-jin would understand something very important. You don't touch what belongs to Ryu Sang-hyuk, not his business, not his people, and definitely not the woman who kept him alive. They brought Hae-jin in at midnight. She was blindfolded, hands zip-tied, shaking. Taemin had grabbed her in the hospital parking garage. Quick, clean, no witnesses. Now she sat in a metal chair in an empty warehouse. The blindfold came off. One light hung above her head. Everything else was darkness. Then Sang-hyuk stepped into the light. She stopped breathing. Mr. Ryu, don't. His voice was quiet, deadly. You know why you're here? No, I swear, I don't. You accessed Laya Tesfaye's employee file without authorization at 11 p.m. on a Tuesday. Then, 3 days later, immigration opened an investigation into her visa status. Hae-jin's face went white. That's quite a coincidence, don't you think? I didn't. The access logs don't lie. Neither does the immigration officer who just told my associate that you filed the report. Her mouth opened, closed. No words came out. So let me ask you once, why? She's not qualified. She's dangerous. I was protecting you. Protecting me. He laughed. It was cold, empty. By trying to deport the only person who's kept me alive in 10 years? She's using you. She's not special. I could do everything she does, yet then why didn't you? Silence. For 3 years, you were my nurse at that hospital. For 3 years, I was dying, and you did nothing. She walks in once, and everything changes. So tell me, Han Hae-jin, what could you possibly do that she hasn't already done? I've been loyal. You've been jealous. No, you wanted me for yourself, for what I represent. Power, money, status. You saw her as competition, so you tried to destroy her. Tears ran down her face. I just wanted a chance. You had 3 years of chances. Please, I'm sorry. I'll fix it. I'll withdraw the report. Too late. Mr. Ryu, please, I made a mistake. You made a choice, and choices have consequences. He nodded at Tae-min. Tae-min stepped forward, placed a phone in front of her. It was recording. You're going to call Officer Park. You're going to tell him you made a mistake, that you fabricated the report, that Laya Tesfaye did nothing wrong. You're going to withdraw the complaint, formally, in writing. And if I do, then you leave Seoul, tonight. You don't come back. You don't work in healthcare again. You disappear. And if I don't, Sang-hyuk leaned closer, then you disappear a different way. She understood. With shaking hands, she dialed Officer Park. He answered on the third ring. Park speaking. Officer Park, this is Han Hae-jin. I need to withdraw a report I filed, case number 2847K, regarding Laya Tesfaye. Why? I made an error. The information was incorrect. She's done nothing wrong. I'm formally withdrawing the complaint. This is highly irregular. I know, but it's the truth. I was wrong. Please close the investigation. Long pause. I'll need this in writing. You'll have it by morning. She hung up, looked at Sang-hyuk. Done. Good. Now pack your things. You have 6 hours to leave Seoul. If you're still here tomorrow, my people will find you, and we won't be having another conversation. Tae-min cut her zip ties. She stood on shaky legs. I'm sorry, she whispered. You should be. They let her go, watched her stumble out into the night. Tae-min turned to Sang-hyuk. You think she'll actually leave? She's smart enough to. And if she's not, then she'll learn the hard way. Sang-hyuk pulled out his phone, texted Leah. It's handled. Immigration will close the case tomorrow. You're safe. 3 dots appeared, then disappeared, then appeared again. Finally, her response came. What did you do? What I had to. Sang-hyuk, trust me, it's over. She didn't respond after that. He put his phone away, stared at the empty chair where Hae-jin had sat. Some people thought power was about money, or influence, or fear. But real power was simpler than that. Real power was making sure the people you cared about stayed safe, no matter what it cost. Laya got the call at 9 a.m. Immigration Services. Her stomach dropped. Hello? Miss Tesfaye, this is Officer Park. I'm calling regarding case 2847K. Yes? The complaint against you has been withdrawn. The investigation is closed. Your visa status is clear. She sat down hard on her couch. What? The person who filed the report contacted us last night, said they made an error, withdrew the complaint formally. We have no grounds to proceed. Who filed it? I can't disclose that information, but the matter is resolved. You're free to continue your employment without issue. Thank you. Have a good day, Miss Tesfaye. He hung up. She sat there holding her phone. Relief crashed through her so hard she started crying. Then anger followed, because she knew exactly how this got resolved. Sang-hyuk. He did something. Something that made someone withdraw a government complaint overnight. Something illegal. Something dangerous. Something that proved he lived in a world she couldn't control. She grabbed her bag, drove to his penthouse. The security guard let her up without question. When she walked in, he was standing by the windows, coffee in hand. He turned when he heard her. You're early. What did you do? I told you I handled it. How? Does it matter? Yes, he set his coffee down. I made some calls, applied pressure, got the complaint withdrawn. That's all? That's all you need to know. She walked closer. Did you hurt someone? No. Did you threaten someone? Silence. Sang-hyuk. Did you threaten someone? I had a conversation. The person understood their mistake. They withdrew the complaint. That's it. Who was it? Someone at the hospital, someone jealous, someone who wanted you gone. Hae-jin. He didn't deny it. What did you do to her? I explained the consequences of her actions. She chose to make things right. By force. By reality. Laya shook her head. This is exactly what I was afraid of. You solving problems with fear, with power, with whatever dark thing you did that you won't tell me about. Would you rather be deported? No, but I also don't want blood on my hands. There's no blood. Not yet. Laya, she tried to destroy you, to ruin your life, to get you kicked out of the country, and I stopped her. Cleanly, quietly, she's gone. You're safe. Why is that a problem? Because I don't know what you did, because you're asking me to trust you while hiding things from me. I'm hiding things to protect you. I don't want that kind of protection. They stood there, both breathing hard. Finally, Sang-hyuk spoke. What do you want from me? Honesty. Complete honesty. If we're doing this, I need to know what I'm part of. You don't want to know. Yes, I do. Fine. He walked to the couch, sat down. I brought her to a warehouse. Taemin and I. We questioned her, got her to confess, made her call immigration and withdraw the complaint. Then we let her go with instructions to leave Seoul and never come back. That's all? That's all. You didn't hurt her? Not physically. But you scared her. Yes. Laya sat down across from him. Do you understand how insane this is? I'm a nurse. I save lives. You're asking me to be okay with intimidation and threats. I'm not asking you to be okay with it. I'm asking you to accept that this is who I am. This is what I do, and I won't apologize for protecting you. Even if it means breaking the law? Especially then. She closed her eyes. I don't know if I can do this. Then don't. She looked at him. What? If this is too much, walk away. I'll find another nurse. You can go back to your normal life. No threats, no danger, no complicated crime lord making your decisions harder. Is that what you want? No, but I want you to choose this, not feel trapped by it. She stood, walked to the windows, looked at Seoul spread below. She'd come here for a fresh start, a clean slate. Instead, she'd fallen into something darker, more complicated, more real than anything she'd known. I need time, she said. How much? I don't know. Okay, she turned. You're not going to fight me on this? No, if you need space, take it. But know this, I meant what I said. You're not just my nurse. You're more than that, and I'll wait as long as you need. She picked up her bag, walked to the door, stopped. Thank you for fixing the immigration thing. You're welcome. Even if I don't agree with how you did it. I know. She left, and Sang-hyuk sat alone wondering if he'd just lost her. Again. 7 days passed. 7 days without her. Sang-hyuk didn't call, didn't text, didn't push. He said he'd wait, so he waited. But waiting was killing him. Not physically. The episodes returned, but they were manageable. Painful, but survivable. He'd lived with worse for years. The real pain was different. It was checking his phone every 10 minutes. It was standing at the window, staring at nothing. It was lying awake at 3 a.m., wondering if she was done with him for good. On the 8th day, his brother visited. Min-hwan walked in without knocking, took one look at him, shook his head. You look like hell. Thanks. When did you last eat? Yesterday. Maybe. When did you last sleep? Sang-hyuk didn't answer. Min-hwan sat down. Call her. I can't. Why not? Because I told her I'd give her space. It's been a week. She needs more time. Or she's waiting for you to show her you actually care. Sang-hyuk looked at him. I told her I'd wait. And you're an idiot. Min-hwan leaned forward. You scared her. You fixed her problem the only way you know how, with power and threats. Now she's processing whether she can live with that. But while she's processing, you're sitting here doing nothing. What am I supposed to do? Show her the other side, the part of you that isn't a crime lord, the part that's human. She's seen that part. Has she? Or has she only seen you desperate and broken and dangerous? Sang-hyuk went quiet. Min-hwan stood. You want her? Fight for her. Not with threats, not with power, with something real. He left. Sang-hyuk sat alone. His brother was right. He'd shown Leah his wealth, his control, his darkness. but he'd never shown her anything soft, anything vulnerable that wasn't about pain. He pulled out his phone, typed a message, deleted it, typed another, deleted that too. Finally, he wrote something simple. I miss you, not because of the pain, because you're the first person in 10 years who made me feel like more than what I do. Take all the time you need, but know that I'm here, waiting. S. He hit send before he could overthink it, put the phone down, walked away, forced himself not to check for a response. Across the city, Laya's phone buzzed. She was in her apartment, eating instant noodles, staring at the wall. She'd thought about him every single day, every hour, every minute. She picked up her phone, read his message, then read it again. Her grandmother's voice whispered, "When you meet him, don't run." But she had run, not physically, but emotionally, because being with him meant accepting darkness, accepting that the man who held her gently was the same man who threatened people in warehouses. She set her phone down, picked it up again, put it down. Finally, she typed, I miss you too, but missing you isn't enough. I need to know I can live with who you are, all of who you are. She sent it. 3 dots appeared immediately. Then let me show you, not the power, not the danger, just me. Give me 1 night. 1 night to do what? Prove I'm more than the worst things I've done. She stared at the message. Her heart pounded. This was the moment. Walk away safe, or walk towards something that might destroy her. She typed, Tomorrow night, 7 p.m., your place. I'll be here. She put her phone down, closed her eyes. Grandma, I hope you knew what you were talking about. She arrived at 7:03 p.m. The penthouse door was open. Inside, everything was different. The cold, modern furniture was pushed aside. String lights hung across the ceiling. Soft music played. Not K-pop, not American, Ethiopian, traditional, the kind her grandmother used to hum. And on the table sat food, real Ethiopian food, injera, doro wat, kitfo, shiro, gomen, all of it homemade. Sang-hyuk stood in the kitchen doorway, flour on his hands, nervous. You cooked this? Tried to. I watched about 40 YouTube videos, burned 3 batches of injera. This is attempt number 4. She walked closer, looked at the spread. It wasn't perfect. The injera was slightly thick. The doro wat looked a little watery, but it was real. He'd tried. Why? Because you've been taking care of me for months, and I realized I've never taken care of you. Her throat tightened. Sit, he said. Please. She sat. He sat across from her, served her food with shaking hands. I need to tell you something, he said, and I need you to just listen. Don't interrupt. Don't judge. Just hear me. She nodded. He took a breath. I became what I am because I had no choice. I was 16. My parents were dead. My brother was 12. We had nothing. I stole to feed us, got caught by a gang. They gave me an option, work for them or die. I chose to live. He looked at his hands. By 20, I was good at it. Violence, strategy, control. By 25, I ran my own crew. By 30, I controlled territories. And somewhere along the way, I stopped being a kid trying to survive and became something else, something harder, something people feared. He looked at her. Then 10 years ago, I got poisoned, and the curse started. And I thought maybe this was karma. Maybe I deserved to burn for the things I'd done. But then you walked in, and for the first time in my entire adult life, I felt like maybe I wasn't just the sum of my worst choices. His voice cracked. I'm not asking you to forgive what I've done. I'm not asking you to forget who I am. I'm just asking you to see that I'm trying to be better, to be someone worth your time, worth your trust, worth you. Silence filled the room, just the soft music, the smell of food, the weight of his words. Finally, Laya spoke. I don't need you to be perfect. He looked up. I need you to be honest, to let me in, to stop protecting me from the truth and let me decide what I can handle. Okay. And I need you to understand something. I'm not here because you have power, or money, or control. I'm here because when I'm with you, I feel something I've never felt before. What? Like I found something I didn't know I was looking for. She reached across the table, took his hand. So let's try. For real this time. No secrets, no hiding, no running. No running, he repeated. They sat there holding hands across homemade food neither of them ate. And for the first time, the walls between them didn't just crack. They fell. Sang-hyuk woke up alone. For a second, panic hit. Then he heard water running in the kitchen. He walked out, found her making coffee, wearing one of his shirts, hair messy, bare feet on cold marble. She looked up, smiled. Morning? You stayed. You sound surprised. I am. She poured 2 cups, handed him one. I told you, no more running. They stood there drinking coffee in comfortable silence. His phone rang. Tae-min. Young-nim, we have a problem. Sang-hyuk's jaw tightened. What kind? The Kim Syndicate. They're moving on our territory. 3 of our businesses hit last night. They're testing us. How bad? 1 warehouse burned, 2 clubs vandalized, no casualties yet, but it's a message. Sang-hyuk closed his eyes. I'll be there in an hour. Young-nim, they're not going to stop. This is retaliation for what happened 3 months ago. They want war. Then we'll give them one. He hung up. Leah was watching him. What's wrong? Work. What kind of work? He hesitated. She set her cup down. No secrets, remember? There's a problem with a rival organization. They hit some of my businesses last night. I need to handle it. Handle it how? However I need to. That's not an answer. Laya, no, you promised honesty. So be honest. What are you going to do? He looked at her. I'm going to meet with my people. Figure out their next move. Respond accordingly. Respond means retaliate. Yes, which means violence. Probably. She went quiet. This is what I meant, she said finally. This is the part I don't know if I can live with. I know. People could get hurt. People are already hurt. More people then. Maybe. And you're okay with that? No, but it's necessary. If I don't respond, they'll see weakness. They'll push harder. More people will get hurt. This is how my world works. She wrapped her arms around herself. I knew this was coming. I just didn't think it would be so soon. He walked closer. You can leave. Right now. Walk out. I'll understand. I don't want to leave. Then what do you want? I want you to promise me something. What? That you'll try, really try, to solve this without killing anyone. He was quiet for a long moment. I can't promise that. Try. Laya, just try. That's all I'm asking. Before you go to war, try to find another way. He stared at her. This woman who made him want to be different, better, human. Okay, I'll try. You mean it? I mean it. She stepped closer, kissed him softly. Then go handle your business. I'll be here when you get back. You're sure? No, but I'm choosing to trust you anyway. He left 30 minutes later. In the car, Tae-min glanced at him. You look different. Different how? Calmer. Less like you want to burn the world down. I made a promise. To who? Someone who matters. What kind of promise? To try to solve this without bloodshed. Tae-min's eyebrows shot up. That's not how these things work. I know. The Kim Syndicate doesn't negotiate. They respect strength, fear, power. Then we'll show them power without killing anyone. How? I don't know yet, but we're going to figure it out. Tae-min shook his head. She's changing you. Good. Is it? Because in our world, change gets you killed. Then maybe I'm in the wrong world. They drove in silence after that, but Sang-hyuk's mind was racing. How do you fight a war without bloodshed? How do you show power without violence? How do you protect what's yours without becoming the monster everyone thinks you are? He didn't have answers yet, but for the first time in his life, he was willing to look for them. Because losing her wasn't an option, and becoming someone she couldn't love wasn't either. The meeting happened in a neutral location, a restaurant closed to the public, just the leaders. Kim Jae-sung sat across from Sang-hyuk, 50 years old, scarred face, dead eyes. You have nerve showing up without an army. I came to talk. Talk? Jae-sung laughed. You killed 3 of my men last year, burned my shipment, cost me 50 million won, and now you want to talk? That was business. This doesn't have to be. Everything is business. Then let's do business. You want my territory. I want peace. Let's find middle ground. Jae-sung leaned back. There is no middle ground. You took from me. Now I take from you. And then what? I take back. You take again. We bleed each other dry while the police watch and wait. Eventually, we're both weak, both vulnerable, both finished. So what are you suggesting? A truce. You stay out of my territories. I stay out of yours. We find new revenue streams that don't overlap. We both make money. Nobody dies. You sound soft. I sound smart. You sound like someone who's lost his edge. Sang-hyuk's jaw tightened. I haven't lost anything. I'm offering you a deal. Take it or don't. But if you keep pushing, I will respond, and it won't be pretty. There it is, the real Ryu Sang-hyuk. All threats, no substance. I'm giving you a chance to walk away from this alive. Are you threatening me? I'm warning you. There's a difference. Jae-sung stood. We're done here. Sit down. Or what? Or I make one phone call and every shipment you have coming through Incheon gets seized. Every business you run gets audited. Every politician you own gets investigated. I may not want war, but I can still wage it. Jae-sung stopped, turned around slowly. You're bluffing. Try me. They stared at each other. Finally, Jae-sung sat back down. What are your terms? You pull back from my clubs. I give you access to 2 shipping routes I don't use. We split profits 60-40. I keep my territory. You expand east. Nobody bleeds. Why would I take 40% of something when I can take 100% of everything? Because taking 100% means going to war with me, and that war will cost you more than 60% of a shipping route. You're smart enough to know that. Jae-sung was quiet, calculating, weighing, measuring. 1-year trial, he said finally. If the profits are good, we continue. If not, we revisit. Deal. They didn't shake hands. Men like them didn't. But the deal was made. Sang-hyuk walked out. Taemin was waiting by the car. How did it go? We have a truce. You negotiated with Kim Jae-sung? Yes. And he agreed? He did. Taemin stared at him. Who are you, and what did you do with my boss? Sang-hyuk smiled slightly. I'm trying something new. Does she know you just gave away 40% of your profit? She will. And you think that's worth it? I think not starting a war is worth it. They got in the car, drove back in silence. When they arrived at the penthouse, Leah was waiting. She looked up when he walked in. How did it go? No bloodshed. We made a deal. Relief flooded her face. Really? Really? She ran to him, threw her arms around him. Thank you. For what? For trying. For being different. For proving me right. He held her tight. I didn't do it for you. Liar. Okay, maybe I did it for you. She pulled back, looked at him. This is who I need you to be. Not the monster. This. I'm still the monster, just a monster trying to be better. That's enough for me. They stood there holding each other, and for the first time in weeks, everything felt possible. Hae-jin didn't leave Seoul. She should have. Sang-hyuk's warning was clear. But she'd spent 6 years building her career here, her reputation, her connections. She wasn't going to throw it all away because of one mistake. So she stayed, kept her head down, found a new job at a smaller hospital across town, and waited. 3 weeks after the warehouse, her phone rang. Unknown number. Hello? Han Hae-jin? A man's voice, unfamiliar. Who is this? Someone who shares your frustrations. I hear you had trouble with Ryu Sang-hyuk. Her blood went cold. I don't know what you're talking about. Please, I know everything. The immigration report, the warehouse meeting, the forced departure. He humiliated you. Who are you? Someone who wants the same thing you do. to see Ryu Sang-hyuk lose what he values most. I'm not interested. Not even for 500 million won? She went quiet. I'm listening. Good. Meet me tomorrow. 3 p.m. Cafe on Gangnam Boulevard. Come alone. How do I know this isn't a trap? You don't. But what's your alternative? Hide forever? Or take a chance at revenge and get rich doing it? He hung up. Hae-jin sat in her tiny apartment, stared at her phone. She should ignore it. Should stay quiet. Should disappear like Sang-hyuk ordered. But the anger inside her hadn't dimmed. It had grown. Every day. Every humiliation. Every memory of that warehouse. She hated him. Hated Laya. Hated that they got everything while she got nothing. The next day at 2:58 p.m., she walked into the cafe. A man sat in the corner, mid-40s, expensive suit, cold smile. She sat down across from him. Who are you? Call me Mr. Choi. I represent certain interests that conflict with Ryu Sang-hyuk's operations. The Kim Syndicate. Smart girl. What do you want? Information, access, leverage. You worked at Seoul General. You know his medical condition. You know his weaknesses. I don't know anything. You know enough. The nurse, Laya Tesfaye. She's the only thing keeping him stable. Without her, he falls apart. So we need her gone, permanently. Hae-jin's stomach twisted. I'm not a killer. We're not asking you to be. We're asking you to provide information. Her schedule, her routines, where she goes, who she sees. We handle the rest. What are you going to do? That's not your concern. If something happens to her, Sang-hyuk will know it was me. Not if we're careful. Not if it looks like an accident. Hae-jin's hands shook. This was insane. This was murder. But the money, the revenge, the satisfaction. 500 million? Cash, untraceable. Half now, half after. And if I say no, then you spend the rest of your life looking over your shoulder, wondering when Ryu Sang-hyuk decides you're a loose end worth tying up. She was quiet. 24 hours, Mr. Choi said. Think about it. Call this number if you're in. He slid a card across the table, stood, left. Hae-jin sat alone, stared at the card. She knew what she should do. Walk away. Disappear. Start over somewhere far from Seoul. But the anger was too strong, the humiliation too deep. She picked up the card, put it in her purse, and made a choice she couldn't take back. Laya left the hospital at 9 p.m., late shift, exhausted, ready to go home. She walked to the parking garage, found her car, unlocked it, didn't notice the black van 3 spaces over, didn't see the 2 men get out, didn't hear them coming until it was too late. One grabbed her from behind, hand over her mouth. She tried to scream, tried to fight, but the second man jammed something into her neck, a needle. Everything went blurry. Her legs gave out. The world tilted. Then nothing. Sang-hyuk was in a meeting when his phone rang. Tae-min, emergency tone. What? They took her. Everything stopped. What? Laya. Someone grabbed her from the hospital parking garage 20 minutes ago. Security footage shows 2 men, black van, no plates. Sang-hyuk was already moving. Where's the van? We're tracking it. They're heading south toward the industrial district. Get everyone, every man we have. I want that van found in the next 10 minutes. Hyung-nim, now! He ran to his car, drove like the world was ending, because it was. His phone rang again. Unknown number. He answered. Ryu Sang-hyuk. A man's voice. Calm. Amused. Where is she? Safe for now. If you hurt her... You'll what? The same thing you did to my men last year? The same thing you've done to dozens of people who crossed you? Sang-hyuk's blood turned to ice. Kim Jae-sung. Not him, but someone who works for him, someone who's tired of your mercy, your weakness, your pathetic attempt at negotiation. What do you want? Simple. Your territories, your operations, everything. You sign it all over to us, clean, legal, official. And if I don't, then the nurse dies, slowly, painfully, and we make sure you watch. I'll kill every single one of you. No, you won't. Because you're trying to be better now. Remember? You made a promise to her. No bloodshed, no violence, no war. Sang-hyuk's hand gripped the phone so hard it cracked. So here's your choice, the man continued. Your empire or her life. You have 6 hours to decide. We'll send you a location. Come alone, unarmed, or she dies. The line went dead. Sang-hyuk pulled over, sat in the car, breathing hard. Everything he'd built, everything he'd fought for, everything he'd sacrificed. For her, or lose her forever. His phone buzzed, a text. Address, Warehouse 7, Incheonport, 3 a.m. Come alone or she dies. J. Taemin called. Hyungnim, we found the van. Abandoned near the port, no sign of her. But there are tracks, multiple vehicles, they're moving her. I know where she is. Where? They sent me an address. Warehouse 7, Incheonport, 3 a.m. That's a trap. I know. You can't go alone. I have to. Then let me come with... No, they'll kill her if I don't follow instructions. They'll kill you both anyway. Maybe, but I'm not letting her die because I was too afraid to walk into a trap. Hyungnim, get the men ready, position them outside the warehouse, out of sight. If I'm not out in 30 minutes, you move in, understand? Yes. And Taemin? Yes? If I don't make it out, you make sure every single one of them pays. I will. Sang-hyuk hung up, stared at the address. 3 hours until 3 a.m. 3 hours to prepare for the fight of his life. 3 hours to decide if he was willing to die for love. He already knew the answer. Sang-hyuk arrived at 2:47 a.m., alone, unarmed, just like they demanded. The warehouse was dark, one light in the center, and beneath it, tied to a chair, was Laya, bruised, bleeding, but alive. He stepped forward. Stop right there. A voice from the shadows. Mr. Choi, the man from the cafe. 3 more men appeared, all armed. Where's the paperwork? Choi asked. I didn't bring it. Then she dies. Wait. Sang-hyuk raised his hands. I'll give you everything, but let me talk to her first. 1 minute. That's all I'm asking. Choi considered. 1 minute, then we finish this. Sang-hyuk walked to her, knelt down. Her eyes opened, swollen, tired, but still her. You came, she whispered. Of course I came. They're going to kill us both. I know. Then why? Because losing you is worse than dying. Tears ran down her face. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry I got you into this. You didn't get me into anything. I walked in myself. He touched her face gently, and I'd do it again. Time's up, Choi said. Sang-hyuk stood, turned to face him. I'll give you what you want, but you let her go first. No, you sign, then she walks. I sign, you kill us both. Probably, but what choice do you have? Sang-hyuk smiled. It was cold, empty. I have one choice you didn't account for. What's that? I kept my promise to her. I tried negotiation. I tried peace. I tried being better. His voice dropped. But you took the only thing that made me want to be better. So now I stopped trying. He whistled. The warehouse exploded with movement. Doors burst open. Windows shattered. 40 men poured in from every direction. Taemin led them, armed, ready. Choi's men didn't stand a chance. It was over in 90 seconds. Sang-hyuk walked to Choi. The man was on his knees now, bleeding. You made a mistake, Sang-hyuk said quietly. You thought being better made me weak, but it just made me more dangerous, because now I have something to protect. Kim Jae-sung will come for you. Let him. I tried peace. He broke it. Now we do this my way. Taemin cut Leah free. She collapsed into Sang-hyuk's arms. It's over, he whispered. You're safe. She looked up at him. You broke your promise. I know. You chose violence. To save you. Yes. She was quiet. I can't be with someone who solves every problem this way. His heart stopped. I know. But I also can't walk away from someone who'd give up everything for me. So what do? We try. We keep trying. You keep trying to be better. and I keep trying to accept who you are, and maybe somewhere in the middle, we figure it out. And if we don't, then at least we tried. He held her close. Police sirens wailed in the distance. "We need to go," Taemin said. They left, together. 3 months later. Leah sat in a cafe, reading. Sang-hyuk walked in, sat down across from her. "How was your day?" "Good. Saved 2 lives. Lost 1. The usual." "I'm sorry. It happens." She looked at him. "How was yours?" "Complicated. Had to make a deal I didn't like, but I didn't kill anyone." "Progress. Small steps." They sat in comfortable silence. "I'm leaving Seoul," she said suddenly. His face went pale. "What?" "For 6 months. Doctors Without Borders. Ethiopia. I signed up last week." "Why didn't you tell me?" "Because I knew you'd try to stop me." "You're right. I would. I need to do this. Go home. Remember who I was before all this. Figure out if I can really live in your world. And if you decide you can't, then we'll deal with that when I get back." 6 months. 6 months. He reached across the table, took her hand. "I'll be here, waiting, working on being better." "I know you will." "Laya?" "Yes?" "Thank you." "For what?" "For making me want to be more than what I was." She squeezed his hand. "Thank you for trying." 6 months later. The airport was crowded. Sang-hyuk stood at arrivals, holding flowers. The doors opened. Laya walked through, saw him, smiled, walked straight to him. "I came back." "I see that. I thought about staying, about starting over, about forgetting all of this." "Why didn't you?" "Because I realized something. Home isn't a place, it's a person, and my person is here." He pulled her close. "I'm still broken." "I know. I'm still dangerous." "I know. I'll probably mess this up." "Probably. And you still want this?" "I still want this." They stood there holding each other while the world moved around them. Not a perfect ending, but a real one. 2 broken people choosing each other, every single day. If you're still here, it means this story touched a place most people never admit they have. Before you go, tell me in the comments, who did you feel more connected to, Sang-hyuk or Leah? And hit subscribe so you don't miss the next story that will tug at your chest the same way this one did. You're part of this world now.